What's going on YouTube? Stability across the board, I would say, is dangerously undervalued amongst black men and black women. um, and in terms of stability, I'm talking about financial stability, emotional stability, spiritual stability, uh, what else? Mental stability, okay? Uh, it's grossly undervalued. Um, and you can't build any foundation without stability, right? That's why they tell you you can't build a house on sand because sand is not stable. It moves, right? Even when you think it's hardened, even if you put some water on it, it will move. Um, so we don't value it across the board. Um, and it's really unfortunate because at the end of the day, what are the older single black women saying? Can I at least have a man with a stable job? Can I at least have a man who can stay out of jail? Can I at least have a man that can show up every day, right? They're screaming for stability, right? Um, and it's unfortunate because it's undervalued when we should be, valuing it the most, when we're younger and we're trying to formulate that foundation. Uh, And what I mean by stability, okay, here's an example. Let's talk about income, okay? What happened to a lot of black people who got hit hard during the whole economic collapse was that there was a lot of black people getting money, but it was like that commission sort of real estate money where it was good for a period of time, but it wasn't stable, right? Versus the guy who probably was not caking off as much during the whole real estate boom, but his job was stable, right? So stability would mean that you have a guy who is making an income that's guaranteed, regardless of how much he's getting paid. You know that it's not going to change, you know, um, unless you're talking about, being fired or being laid off. But while he's employed, you know he's going to be bringing home X amount of dollars. Now, the amount I'm not concerned about. All I'm talking about is that next month he's going to get a certain amount. In 10 months, he's going to be getting a certain amount. Versus people who are getting good money, but there's no stability. So it goes from month to month. This month I made 30K. Next month I may make 5K. The month after that I may make 15K. Right? That's that uh, instability amongst income that a lot of times black people don't understand. Oh, this dude is making money, but what is he doing? How is he making his money? How stable is that? Right? Uh, I know plenty of barbershops that went under. I know plenty of black women that had their own hair salon that went under, right? Because it wasn't as stable as they thought it was, and also they didn't make the most business savvy moves. But it was what it was. When the economy started to go down, who got affected first? Black people. So what does that mean? Keisha doesn't have $200 to go get her hair done or her weave put in. That's going to affect the salon owner directly, right? Or if guys can't come in and pay the 20 or $30, every week or every 2 weeks to get a haircut, that's going to affect the owner relatively quickly, right? Especially if he only owns that shop. Um, so, that's an example of the stability that I'm talking about. Uh, I've seen my friends, my non-black friends, the males, I've seen them pass up on hot chicks that were not stable, okay? And they took the chick that was middle of the road, but she had more stability. She wasn't up and down, and you knew what to expect out of her at the day-to-day level, right? And for a lot of men, you would assume, a lot of women would assume that, men only go for highly attractive women. That's how shallow men are. Wrong, wrong, Wrong. Okay. Um, like I said, a woman's beauty is only going to take her so far, right? Um, and if you are a single woman and you're highly attractive and you're stable, you will be wifed up. Men don't let highly attractive women fall through the cracks. But if you do see single, highly attractive women, it's probably because they're not stable. Okay? And a lot of men will mess with the hot chick. They'll make her the girlfriend, but they're not trying to wife up the chick who's not stable. Right? So literally, I've seen men say, I'm not going to go with Candy because as cute as Candy is, I mean, she's not there 24/7. Right? And the same in the black community. And I made this point before, you'll have the attractive black women who talk about being single as if somehow that implicates the men. It doesn't implicate us because if your head is on straight, you'll definitely get wifed up without a shadow of a doubt. But it's typically something wrong with you. There's some sort of instability in your life. Okay? And I said before, it's almost as if black women wake up every day and do the whole spin the wheel. Today I'm going to be the traditional sort of grandmother sort of black woman, or I'm going to be Miss Modern or Miss Independent, or I'm going to be the Jezebel or the diva. And for a lot of men, we don't like that. That's instability. It doesn't matter how cute you are, right? Um, and on the flip side, okay, I've seen some of the Hispanic women that I've known, okay, beautiful, gorgeous girls, um, end up with guys who are average Joe Schmoes, right? Um, because they like the fact that those guys had stability. They had their pick of bad boys or guys who, had money here and there, but honestly, these women wanted stability. I'm not saying all, okay? I'm not trying to come on and promote another group of women. I'm just talking about from personal experience, right? Because of minority women that I was around growing up, they were predominantly Hispanic. I'm from Southern California. Um, so I've seen it happen, right? So if you're stable and you're going in a certain direction, you will get rewarded. Women will say, that's what I want, as opposed to the guy who can be flashy, right? It's like I want the guy who's going to give me 20 points a game, whereas going for the guy who may give me 50, but you never know. He may give me 50 every 5 games, whereas this guy is giving me 22 points consistently. So at the end of the day, the guy giving me 22 points per day or per game is going to have a higher total than the guy who may drop 55 one night. So a lot of women see that and they go for that. But once again, in the black community, we don't value the stability, right? And I don't want to say that one group does it better than the other, but I would definitely say that men do it better, right, across the board because we have more to lose. We definitely have more to lose. That's why no one really feels sorry for men who make bad choices in women, right? No one does. The women don't feel sorry for them. Other men don't feel sorry for them, right? You have to factor in stability. Uh, but for the women, like I said before, it's something that is grossly, grotesquely undervalued amongst younger black men and women. Um, and like I said, when these women become older, they're screaming for stability. And I say that because once again, I have I have an older sister, but I have older female relatives that I'm close with. I'm talking about women who are 31, 32, master's degree, PhD. I grew up with these girls, right? So I got a glimpse in terms of the future, right? Where the vast majority of black women are going now, I've already seen, right? I'm an 80s baby, but like I said, I know women that are the late 70s babies, right? And I'm looking at them, I'm talking to them, and I'm seeing what they're going through, and I'm having conversations here and there. And a lot of these women are just screaming for stability, screaming for stability, um, because they understand that it doesn't matter if you have a really good time with the man and he's treating you really well, but it's not like that 24/7, right? It doesn't matter if it's heaven-like, but you only get it one day a week or 5 times a month. After that, it gets annoying. It's almost like you're being tormented, right? So it's like, I'm done with all that. Give me stability. And it's unfortunate because it's only till we wait till the fourth quarter, right, with 5 minutes left to want to turn it on. You know what I mean? Like, now we want to play hard, whereas other groups are playing hard, I would say, around the start of the second quarter, or, the start of the second quarter, okay? Um, so it is what it is. Uh, so the middle of the road, you know, is something that I promote. If you guys, like, break down some of the ideas that I share with you guys, I'm a firm believer in being in the middle of the road. I don't do the whole one day I'm extremely high, the other day I'm extremely low. I don't like that. I've seen people who ride those extremes and they think it's cool, but they get sick. It's just like when you go from a really warm day to a really cold day, you get sick. Even now I got a slight cough because our weather's tripping in Cali. One day it will be 95, the next day it's going to be 70, or during the day it's like 95, but during the nighttime it's like 55. So you get sick when you're going through that whole extreme, right? Um, so it is what it is. Um, it's crazy because the women don't like to listen to us because they feel like we're making stuff up and we're lying and this, that, and the third. And like I said, all I'm doing is sharing with you guys what I'm seeing in real life. And it's really unfortunate that black women in their prime fail to look at women who are maybe 5, 7, 10 years above them. They fail to look at what's going on. And, like, how could you not look? Or even if they do look, it's like one of those, well, that's not going to be me. That's not going to be me. Um, and honestly, those same women who you're saying you don't want to be like, they were once in your position and they were once saying the same thing as well. Right? It is what it is. So stability. Value it. It's just like your vegetables, right? It's not the most appealing thing in the world. It's not sexy. It's not, dangerous. It's not glamorous, but you need it, right? It's like the Tim Duncan of relationship values, right? Functional, uh, fundamental, you need it, right? It is what it is. As much as people don't talk about Tim Duncan, for example, the man has how many championships? 4. I only count 3 of them, but the man has 4 championships, and he's not flashy. Most of most women probably don't even know who Tim Duncan is. You guys know who Allen Iverson is. I know the women know who AI is, even though AI has no rings. But how many black women know who Tim Duncan is, and the man has 4 championships? So anyways, that's my vid. Y'all take it easy. God bless.